Have you ever trusted someone only to later feel like your thoughts weren't really yours anymore? Like your choices were subtly shaped, your confidence chipped away, and your peace no longer your own? Welcome back to the Chill Stoic, your sanctuary of calm in a noisy, often manipulative world. Today, we strip away one of the most seductive threats to your peace: emotional manipulation. This is not about judging others, it's about freeing yourself. So settle in, because when you learn to see through the mask, you become untouchable. Part 1. The charm that chains you. Manipulation doesn't always arrive in shadows. Sometimes it walks in smiling, offering help, flattery, even love. But what it really seeks is control. The most dangerous manipulators don't scream or threaten. They offer kindness that feels strangely heavy. They give, but leave you feeling like you owe them something in return. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Do not accept gifts whose hidden cost is your peace. True generosity frees you." Manipulation wraps the gift in ribbons, then tightens the knot around your freedom. These people don't want you to grow. They want you to orbit them, to depend on them, to stay predictable. They use favors like silent chains. They remind you what they've done for you, often when you dare to say no. And with each reminder, they chip away at your independence. The Stoics believe that true friendship is based on virtue, not leverage. If someone only gives to gain control, it's not kindness. It's a silent conquest. Part 2. Emotional puppeteers. How guilt becomes a weapon. They don't need chains to control you, just guilt. Manipulators are masterful choreographers of emotion. They don't shout or demand, they sigh, hesitate, withdraw, until you feel compelled to fix something you never broke. This is how control begins, not with force, but with subtle self-doubt. Guilt becomes their favorite instrument, a symphony of sighs, silence, and carefully chosen words. If you really cared, you would. That single phrase can unseat your resolve and turn your boundaries into doors left ajar. But here's what the Stoics knew, and what modern psychology affirms. Guilt is a signal, not a sentence. It asks for reflection, not obedience. And if someone habitually uses guilt to mold your actions, they are not guiding you, they are puppeteering you. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." That includes refusing to be shaped by guilt that was never yours to carry. A virtuous life is built from intention, not manipulation. If you constantly feel the need to justify your choices, if your yes feels like a coerced surrender instead of a willing gift, that is not kindness, it's captivity. True love, true friendship, true support never needs guilt as glue. You are not selfish for honoring your limits. You are not cold for stepping back from emotional pressure. You are clear, you are sovereign. You are practicing radical self-respect in a world that often misunderstands it. So next time someone tries to twist your compassion into compliance, pause, breathe, and remember, guilt is a visitor, not a landlord. Stand tall in your decision. Let your no be as sacred as your yes, because protecting your peace is not betrayal. It's the highest act of loyalty to your soul. Part 3. The dance of inconsistency. How manipulators keep you off balance. Have you ever felt like you're dancing, but the music keeps changing without warning? One moment, they praise you like the sun rises in your eyes. The next, their tone turns cold, withdrawn, as if you've done something terribly wrong, but they won't tell you what. You're left questioning, replaying every word, every look, trying to decode a rhythm that was never meant to be understood. This is not a relationship. It's a game of emotional roulette, and the manipulator holds the wheel. Inconsistency is not random. It's strategic. It keeps you chasing, keeps you guessing, keeps you desperate for the good version of them to return. And in that endless chase, you forget what calm even feels like. But Stoicism teaches the opposite of this chaos. It teaches ataraxia, inner tranquility that does not rise and fall with another's moods. It teaches that true strength is emotional constancy, to not be swayed by storms that are not yours to sail. So if someone's affection feels like weather, sunny one day, a storm the next, that's not love. That's manipulation dressed in mystery. And your peace is not a puzzle for them to solve or scatter. You are not here to perform, not to chase after breadcrumbs of warmth, not to earn basic respect by dancing to a tune that keeps changing. You deserve rhythm, not chaos, stability, not suspense. And when you step out of that inconsistent dance, something magical happens. You begin to remember the sound of your own heartbeat, the steady, grounded rhythm of a soul no longer performing. You no longer wonder where you stand, because now you stand tall, alone if you must, and in that stillness, you are no longer spinning. You are home. Part 4. Exploiting vulnerabilities and manufacturing urgency. Manipulators don't attack your strengths. They study your weaknesses, not to heal them, but to hold them like strings in the palm of their hand. They listen closely when you speak of past pain, fears, doubts. They nod, they empathize, but inside, they're filing it all away, like weapons in a drawer, waiting for the perfect moment to use them. And then one day, when your defenses are down, they casually say something that cuts a little too deep, something only someone close would know. Suddenly, your old wounds bleed again, only now it's at their convenience. The Stoics warned us, do not hand over your inner fortress. Your soul is not a confessional booth for the unworthy. If someone uses what you shared in vulnerability to control you, that is not intimacy, it is a trap. And then comes the false urgency, the flashing lights, the rushed texts, the you need to decide right now tone. But ask yourself, why the rush? Why now? Manufactured urgency is the manipulator's smoke bomb. They want your reaction, not your reflection. Because reflection sees too clearly, and they fear your clarity more than anything. But as Marcus Aurelius wrote, nothing is so urgent that it prevents you from acting with reason. So breathe. Delay is your weapon, distance is your shield. When you pause, the spell breaks. When you don't jump at their command, their control cracks. You become the one who sets the tempo, and suddenly, they're the one trying to catch up. You are not a puppet. You are not a panic button for someone else's drama. Your pace, your peace, your power. They belong to you and only you. Let them rush. You remain still. Part 5. Subtle tactics, flattery, blame shifting, and isolation. Not all traps are built with chains. Some are woven from compliments. From the moment you're told you're the only one who truly gets them, you feel seen, until you realize it's a mirror, not a window. Manipulators know flattery disarms faster than aggression. Their praise comes fast, thick, and sugar-sweet. But watch closely. It's not admiration, it's bait. And once you bite, they reel in control. Suddenly you find yourself needing their approval, like oxygen in a high place. Because every compliment comes with an invisible leash. And that leash shortens with every favor you return, every yes you didn't mean. But when you fall short, when you say no, the compliments vanish, replaced with blame. They rewrite the story, and somehow you're always the villain. It's subtle. You forget what really happened because they tell the story louder and first. And while you're busy defending yourself, they're already planting doubt in the minds of others. Blame shifting is a manipulator's camouflage. They wear the innocence of a victim, while quietly pressing your guilt into your chest until it feels like your own idea. And then, the final move, isolation. Not by locking the doors, but by whispering doubt into every connection you have. She doesn't really understand you, is jealous of your growth. They're holding you back. One by one, they nudge you away from your circle until the only voice left is theirs. The Stoics warned us, guard your reason, guard your company, guard your peace. Because once you stand alone on their island, it becomes much harder to remember how to swim. But here's the power you forgot you had. You can reconnect. You can rebuild. You can return home to those who love you. Not for what they can mold, but for who you truly are. If praise feels like pressure, question it. If guilt becomes routine, name it. If love feels like a cage, leave it. Your worth is not up for barter. Your soul was never theirs to shape. You are not the echo of someone else's need. Your voice, a choice, a force. And you are finally remembering that. Part 6. Gaslighting, the ultimate erosion of self. It starts small. A shrug, a quiet "I never said that," a gentle laugh that makes you question your memory. And just like that, reality begins to blur. Not because it's broken, but because someone is bending it around you. Gaslighting is the art of erasure, not of facts, but of you. They don't need to raise their voice. They only need to raise doubt. And when they do it well enough, long enough, you stop trusting your own mind. They'll tell you, you're too sensitive. You always take things the wrong way. You're imagining things. And eventually, you start wondering, maybe they're right? You begin rewriting your memories to fit their version of truth. You begin apologizing for things you didn't do, grateful just to keep the peace. But Stoicism whispers something far more powerful. Do not surrender your perception. Marcus Aurelius taught that your reason, your mind, is your last stronghold, and it is sacred. A manipulator doesn't want your love. They want your lens. Because if they can twist how you see the world, they can control how you see yourself. And when they own your self-image, they never have to raise their hand, because you will do the silencing for them. But hear this now, loud and clear. You are not broken. You are not confused. You are waking up. Gaslighting thrives in the shadows. So shine a light. Read down your truth. Name what you saw. Keep your journal like a compass when the fog rolls in. Return to people who don't make you question your sanity, but instead reflect your soul back to you with kindness and clarity. Because when your mind is free again, when you trust your own voice again, you'll realize you were never crazy. You were just being rewritten by someone afraid of your strength. And now you're reclaiming every word. Part 7. Guarding your boundaries, your unwavering choice. There comes a moment, quiet, almost sacred, when you finally realize you don't need to fight harder. You just need to stop letting them in. Your peace isn't a gift. It's a fortress. And not everyone deserves a key. Manipulators don't knock. They sneak in through self-doubt, through guilt, through flattery, through "I'm just trying to help." But you are done being the open door. The Stoics remind us, you cannot control others, only your response. And your response, your boundaries, are not walls of anger, but shields of wisdom. You don't need to scream. You don't need to explain. You don't owe anyone access to your soul. A boundary is not cruelty. It is clarity. It is the soft but firm hand that says, "This far, no farther." So what does that look like? It looks like not answering the call that drains you. It looks like choosing silence over drama. It looks like walking away without guilt when your spirit is not safe. It's not about punishing others. It's about honoring yourself. Because the time, the energy, the love you spend trying to fix the unfixable, that is energy stolen from your becoming. And the world needs your becoming. Imagine your mind as a temple. Would you let a stranger stomp through it with muddy boots? Criticizing the art on the walls? Of course not. So why allow someone to do that in your heart? Protecting your peace doesn't make you cold. It makes you whole. And when you finally hold that boundary with grace, with unwavering kindness and strength, you'll find that you no longer need revenge. You only need distance, because clarity doesn't shout. It simply walks away. And in that quiet walk, you return home to yourself. So now you know. Or manipulation doesn't always come with raised voices. Sometimes it comes wrapped in concern. Sometimes it hides behind compliments. Sometimes it even calls itself love. But you are no longer blind to it. You see the patterns, you feel the shift. And most importantly, you remember who you are. The Stoics didn't teach us to fight the world. They taught us to return to the only domain that truly matters: our soul, our choices, our peace. So when the voices around you try to sway your truth, return to stillness, return to breath, return to that quiet citadel within you that no lie can penetrate. Because from that place, you are unshakable. You don't need to control them. You just need to not hand them the strings. You are not alone. You are simply remembering your wholeness. If today's episode revealed something sacred within you, subscribe to the Chill Stoic, tap that little bell, and let's walk this path of clarity, courage, and calm together. Share this space with someone who's tired of feeling like a puppet. They may not know it yet, but they're ready to cut the strings too. Until next time, stay grounded, stay wise, and above all, protect your peace.